I told you that there is a prefab tiny home that can be delivered to your house, and once delivered, the entire thing could be assembled, put together in a matter of hours. You heard me right, hours. Well, it's not just a possibility, it's actually a reality, and I have seen it with my own eyes. If you have been considering adding a tiny home, you are not going to want to miss this video. So here's a little backstory about me. A few years ago, we had plans drawn to add about 300 square feet to our house and carve out a space within that for an ADU, which is an in-law unit. At the time, the quotes were all over the place. I was getting quotes from $125,000 just to add the shell of that addition. You know, it would have a roof and windows and a door, but nothing, absolutely nothing done on the inside. All the way to $350,000 for everything to be complete. Plus, it would take 6 months to be finished, which we all know that when they quote you 6 months, it's always longer. It doesn't matter what they quote you, it's almost never finished on time. And to make it worse, during the construction phase, we would need to be completely moved out of 2 of our bedrooms. So basically camping out in other parts of the house, in the living room, family room, things like that. And we would have to give up the use of both of our bathrooms for at least 2 weeks. And again, we know it's never on time. So 2 weeks would probably be 4 weeks, maybe even 6 weeks with no bathroom at all. Between the really high prices that I was quoted and all the inconvenience, we put that plan on hold. Since then, started considering instead adding a detached unit, an ADU or in-law suite that's just completely detached. But building wasn't going to be any cheaper. It wouldn't be any faster, and, well, it would still be a huge inconvenience to have construction going on for months on end. So far, we have done nothing. Recently, when I saw a friend's video of her backyard workroom installation, I had to see one for myself. So recently, I was in Dallas, Texas for an event, so I decided to take some time and head over to Plano, Texas, and get a factory tour of Backyard Workroom, and I am so glad that I did. When I arrived at the Backyard Workroom facility, Greg welcomed me and let me know he was surprised to see me there in person. Apparently, when I filled out the online form for the appointment, he saw that I was from California and he anticipated we'd be meeting by phone or Zoom. But no, I wanted to see these in person and I was already in Dallas anyway. So Greg let me straight out to their factory floor and started the tour, beginning at the explanation of how the pieces fit together, how the bases are fabricated, and explained that the buildings are then put together a lot like Lego blocks. Take a look here at this clip of the beginning of my tour where Greg explains how the bases work.
So the base is everything starts from the base. So we fabricate it all from raw steel. It's an engineered product with a patent pending on it. There's adjustable feet on it. It has all of your conduit and everything is nested in the floor between your subfloor and your insulation. So the bottom of it's insulated as well. So you get a good high 16.8 R value on the floors.
So when you say the conduit, it's the electricals going? Okay.
The electricals going. So the bases are all going to be 5 feet wide, 12 feet deep. So if you have a 30-footer, you're going to have 6 of these bases. If you have a 40-footer, you're going to have 8 of those. So the process is as simple as, like I said, there's adjustable feet on it. So if we go out and we ship out to California, for instance, you'll get a schematic which will show you where all the paver blocks are going to go. Those get set down, you level them as much as you can, kind of a 3-axis leveling, front to back, diagonally, side to side. Once those are level, you may have 2 in the front right corner and 1 in the back left. Then these bases go on top and there's adjustable feet on them. So once we adjust those 3-axis again, then they bolt together. There's little access panels that you can bolt them together. We use earth anchors that go down into the soil, and that's where we get our wind rating. So California is going to be a little different, but most of the states, just an actual earth anchor will get us 140 to 150 mile an hour wind rating.
Are they, so when you're saying about when they're anchored into the ground, are they no longer adjustable once they're anchored, or like if the ground shifted later on, you could adjust one up or down? They are still adjustable.
There's access where you can get to that I'll show you when we go over to the model. There's actually an earth anchor over there.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, it's air conditioned in there too,
Oh,
so you can actually.
that's
be a little
awesome.
bit cooler.
Yeah, how do you guys work in here?
Everything comes out, and it's basically, think about a Lego kit.
Yeah.
So on a 12 by 30, there's 21 pieces to the Lego kit. There's going to be 6 of these. There's going to be a bunch of walls, some roof panels, and a couple of interior walls, and they're all going to be numbered 1 through 21. And there's a short content video, so each one you can have a QR code. Pop it open, go over to panel 1. It shows my guys putting it down
together.
and how to assemble it. So
Now, when I was getting a quote for my attached ADU, the lower end quotes only included the exterior shell, windows, and doors. For the $125,000 quote, I would be left with rough electrical, rough plumbing, no flooring, and not even drywall on the interior. Watch here as Greg explains his tiny homes are shipped complete with everything, right down to the door locks and even the keys. It's pretty impressive, especially considering the drastic price difference.
the kits that we ship out, every single thing is included. Your key to your lock set and your deadbolt, your light bulbs. We
Wow.
make it so you don't have to go to Home Depot.
You're not
or
buying
Lowe's
anything.
to do anything. You get all your stuff. You have a crew of 4 to 5 people. You can carry each one of the parts through a 38-inch gate on the side of a house and get it into a backyard and assemble it that week.
Wow. So no
cranes, no forklifts, anything.
That's
The
awesome.
heaviest thing that we have is this panel right here, and
Because
a few people can lift this up.
this is
Steel.
yeah.
So notice there's a lip
Yeah.
all the way around it. So obviously this one's got a lip around 3 sides, so we know this is one of the ends.
Oh,
The
yeah,
ones
yeah.
in the middle are just going to have them on the outsides, not here. So it's kind of like a keystone effect. Your wall panels are going to come in here. They're going to get secured to this. And then the ceiling panels, you can see over there that gray steel around there.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be some angle iron that goes around the perimeter at the top. Once we tighten those bolts together, it's like a keystone effect.
One of the options that you can add on to this ADU is a deck, and they have already created it ready to ship with your new tiny home. You don't even have to make it. It just comes with it.
We use Trex decking, which is
nice.
a 50-year recycled product. It's stuff that goes in landfills that looks like wood. No paint, no stain,
Yeah.
50-year warranty. Beautiful stuff.
Next up, the roof panels. Greg showed me the roof panels, and they were not at all what I was expecting. I was actually confused by what I was seeing. They were a layered foam-like material laminated together with something that looks and feels a lot like a painting canvas. That's the only way I can think to describe it. It wasn't clear to me until I saw one with the primer on it that this was actually the wall surface, and it was paintable. Take a look at the video, and what I'm saying might make more sense.
So the largest panel that we have is our 8-inch SIP panel, which is the roof panel. So in the case of a 12-foot deep building, which all of our small home kits are, this is going to be a 14-foot panel. So you're going to have a 1.5 foot overhang.
Oh, 'cause
on the
overhang.
front, 6 inches. So
Yeah, so
you're
you get
looking
the-
at something that's 8 feet by 14 feet right now.
And do you need gutters?
Watch this.
Whoa.
I just lifted that by myself.
Wow. Why?
You
That's
do
it.
not need gutters.
Is it so it's like 2 pieces of foam that have they're like, and what is this? Is we looking at the inside of the roof? Or-
This is the exterior interior finish of the SIP panel. I'll explain that in just a moment. So if you've ever taken any engineering classes, the sum of the products is greater than the sum of the parts. This is a flexible sheet. This is foam flexible sheet. Once you laminate that together into a SIP panel, a structural insulated panel system, it becomes strong like an I-beam. So you can literally hit this with rocks, bricks, hammers. We back into it sometimes with a forklift out here, and it will not damage it. This product is like a woven fiberglass mesh
This is so interesting.
product. Yeah, so
It's-
like with any woven product, it's going to be extraordinarily strong. So puncture resistance, very good, as far as impact resistance and so on. Plus you get the high R value of having 8 inches of solid foam.
Yeah, 'cause-
So this is the best insulated tiny home, small home, whatever you want to call it in America that I'm aware of.
It's yeah. I
And
can't
it's
believe.
lightweight enough you can carry it in your backyard.
And it's not going to blow off the roof.
Rated at 100. In California, we'll be rated at, I believe, somewhere in the 160 to 180.
What about earthquakes? Fine. Now, just past the roof panels were wall panels in various stages of construction. You can see in this next clip how the doors and the windows are installed into the panels and then painted. All of this happens before it ever gets shipped to you, before it ever leaves the factory. The paint colors that you choose get painted on before they ship it to you. Also, There's a close-up of the electrical wiring pre-installed as well. So all that needs to be done once one of these ADUs is installed on site is for an electrician to come out and make the connections through the floor conduit and connect to the main power that would have been installed at the property ahead of time.
So, we take them apart, take them to shows, kind of home shows, put them back together inside our building. So here you can see, this is obviously going to be one of your front interior. We've got the door in here, we've got the window, we trim it. We use 3 coats of paint. We use a 1 hour fire rated paint for our base coat.
Wait, so you paint over this? This is not.
No,
this isn't the.
No, we paint it.
This the paint goes right on this. Like it's almost like a canvas. Oh, that's so.
Oh, it's a great substrate.
And the paint won't peel off it. It doesn't. And you could repaint it.
So
change the color.
1 hour fire rated paint for your primer paint, and then a couple of coats of Sherwin-Williams, great quality Sherwin-Williams paint. And then you can see like this one here is repainted, make sure it's not wet. And so we make it very easy. So anywhere you've got electrical on the wall, there's a chase already pre-drilled, and then this is called a pigtail. So when you put this panel up, this pigtail is going to be
into the floor.
And you will see an area for that to be fish taped through, they call it, for the electrician, to make it easy to get all of the electrical to the back of the building, and then there's conduit and a gutter system that covers it up to pull it all to one spot where they'll have a sub panel and tie in.
And then how many outlets can they? You can put outlets anywhere you want.
Depends on the size of the building, but there's plentiful floor outlets, and there's also wall outlets.
Oh, floor outlets. Wow, that's nice. Does that happen? Do you choose the locations of the outlets?
They're predetermined.
Predetermined. Okay.
So one of the things that we're proud of is that we only use good quality stuff. We own. We don't have the same issues that a lot of places do with supply chain, because most of our steel all comes from the same place. Our structural insulated panel systems come from a place just outside of Fort Worth, and everything else we try to get through Home Depot or Sherwin-Williams, nationally recognized places. We use fixtures like Kohler, Moen, Delta, things that you're familiar with, General Electric.
So not off-brand.
Not off-brand.
Strange thing. So this one has 2 AC units on the back.
They all do. With
the
the 30
all do.
foot and up, anywhere you have a room with a door on it, you're going to have a second air conditioning. So the 30, which is a 1 bedroom, the 40 is a 2 bedroom, and the 50 is a 3 bedroom. Those are all going to have its own AC units.
Is there option to do like a split system AC?
Absolutely. We've had great luck though with these. It's a new construction through the wall, 8,000 BTU units with heat also.
Oh.
We've had great luck with it. Very reliable. This is super energy efficient, so you don't really have a lot of energy drain.
And after seeing all of these separate stages of these ADUs, I was really, really excited to get inside and see the actual model. They have their most popular model on display, which is a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 360 square foot unit. So inside this 360 square foot unit, there's a 2-burner cooktop, acacia wood countertops. You can get a full-size fridge in here, and the oven, which looks like a microwave, is actually a convection oven, so it's dual purpose. There's also a full-size bathroom that's a really good size with the option of either a tub or a shower, a dual flush toilet, and even an all-in-one washer dryer that fits under the countertop. They install 25-year warranty flooring from Home Depot. There's also crown molding, even floor electrical outlets for things like lamps that might be in the middle of the room next to a couch, or you want electrical near a table. It's pretty cool.
So the good thing about a SIP panel is it's structurally a very strong panel. So this big screen TV is just hung on the wall with 4 screws.
Really?
You don't have to find studs in the wall because there are no studs in the wall. Any place you put a screw in here, you're rated, our engineer stamped it at 100 pounds of pull.
So you can hang your TV anywhere.
You want to put a Murphy bed on that wall? You can hang a Murphy bed on that wall instead of having the couch or whatever, and maybe put a couple of recliners in here, and then have a Murphy bed against your wall. You've got that.
Do you have
screw pull that you can do.
a suggestion for Murphy bed? I'm just curious. I literally was shopping for one
When we go
yesterday.
in the office, I'll show you.
Okay. One of the things I noticed was how 360 square feet didn't really feel like 360 square feet. I was really impressed with the use of the space in such a small amount of space. And I hadn't even seen the bedroom yet. It was surprising to me that the ceilings felt so tall and spacious, even though at one end they're 8 feet, they're only 7.5 at the other side. It doesn't feel like the ceilings are too low.
But you've got enough room in the master bedroom here, the main area, for a queen size bed. You've got room for a nice size nightstand, a chest of drawers over there. I believe it's 43 inches, something like that, 46 inches. And then a good sized closet, which if you look at it, there's upper and lower. So you have about 11 feet of equivalent hanging space for clothing, and there's shelving on top. So you have plenty of place to keep your clothes and your shoes.
How high are the ceilings in here? They seem really high.
So they're 8 feet in the front, 7.5 feet in the back.
Now, something that I think is really cool is that there's no studs in these walls, but the walls are so strong that you can hang a TV or whatever you want directly on them. You don't need to find a stud. You can literally put the wall hanging bracket anywhere. That's pretty cool. Now, just to prove how strong these walls were, Greg demonstrated by hitting them with a hammer. Then gave me a piece of the wall to show me how light it was. And I was actually able to toss it into the air and catch it. Not the whole wall, but, you know, a good sized portion of it. It is super light, but very strong. He even said if I could put a hole in one of them, he would give me a free tiny home. So that was pretty exciting. Challenge accepted, but, well, it didn't go so well. I actually took a couple swings at it, and I didn't even make a dent. But my hand hurt pretty good.
This we just take to shows. So visualize this as a, let's say a redwood tree limb or a very large Yellowstone. Right?
Whoa.
Remember I told you how strong it is?
Yeah, that's unbelievable. And it's so light. Seriously?
You could literally drive a truck on that.
Oh my, okay.
Yeah, do it all you want. Yeah, get on over here and hit this with a hammer real quick, as hard as you can. I tell people if you can break, hit the big one so it doesn't fall on your feet. Go ahead, hit it. I tell people if you can hit a hole in that, I give you a free tiny home.
Oh my God! How much time do I have?
As long as you need.
To build a hole. That's really
You're not
cool.
gonna break a hole with it.
Next, he showed me how the bases work with the levelers and the insulation in the base and how all the bolts work. Now, they can ship these homes to any state. And in a place like California, where I live, we have earthquake safety issues going on. So the levelers can actually be bolted down so that they are earthquake safe. So they can be installed so that they are up to code with earthquake safety standards. Also, with such a limited amount of wood in the construction of the home, wood is actually only used as a subfloor. There's not much here for termites to damage, and critters won't have an easy way in because there's no gap in between the walls. There's no gap between the siding and the inside of the wall. It's just all solid, and mold doesn't like to grow on this material either. So overall, a lot less problems than a standard stick-built home.
So when I was talking to you earlier about the bases, okay, this is called a double bubble, double foil wrap.
Yeah.
So the dead air space is where you get your R value. It's taped and it's sealed so critters don't eat foil and things like that. So the other good thing is if you have termites don't eat fiberglass, they don't eat steel. Mold doesn't like to grow on either of them.
There's no wood. I mean, there's no wood construction.
Right. You have some wood in the subfloor, and then you have some wood around the trim of the doors and windows. Otherwise, this is a very sustainable, energy efficient type of building that'll last for years and look the same as when you bought it. So here's your adjustable feet I was telling you about.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then I was talking about your electrical is nested in here between your subfloor plywood and that. And then you can see right here your floor base or your plugs. And then at the corners and throughout the building, it's an engineered product. So wherever our engineer tells us these earth anchors go, the earth anchors have a nut at the top of them, 1/2-inch impact wrench into the soil. There'll be a 5/8 inch bolt that's welded in this corner. You put that bolt through that, washer and a nut, you tighten it, and that's what gives you your tying it into the earth so that you get the wind rating.
But you can still adjust it to level it.
We've adjusted a few of them. We haven't had a lot of problems.
Are the holes in the thing, is that for anything?
If you needed to secure it
to something, you could secure it that way too.
Yeah, so in California, we're going to have a little bit of different engineering than we're going to have in Texas for it. We don't use any torque or piers or anything like that. So in California, you may have a small pier that you have to dig out and pour concrete in and so on.
Are there some areas where you don't even have to use the pillars? You could go right onto the dirt or
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And then you always are going to want to use something like that.
But that's not California. You couldn't do that in California.
No two states, no two jurisdictions are going to be the same. So we leave that complete because we're completely an engineered product. It gets stamped and sealed. We don't speculate on anything. We give him the exact address. He says this is exactly how many screws and where they go. Where do you glue things? What do you use to secure it to make sure we exceed all the local jurisdiction requirements.
Got it. So you might be wondering, what happens when they have pieces of scrap left over? Well, they get creative and they build something else, of course. Check this out. Oh no, the smaller one here.
Oh, this one? This is called scraps that would have ended up in a landfill, but we don't like landfills. So these are some leftover pieces that we put together, and it's a sauna. We don't normally sell saunas, but I'm not throwing it away into dumpsters
right.
or landfills, so we...
Oh, that is funny.
I told you Eric's very good at drawing up things. So this has got a fold up, fold out bench.
Oh my God.
Changing area, some hooks in there. And then the little dipper thing will go there where you put the...
Yes.
I don't know what it's
that
called.
is so cool. Is
yeah.
it literally like a...
It's a little sauna.
Oh my gosh. That's really cool.
So
is this the price of this with as a sauna?
Yeah.
You guys are selling them now as saunas?
Well, we build it. It's 110 degrees every day.
No.
So I'll sell it this fall.
If you've been considering adding an ADU to your property, this is one option that you should really consider. The fact that it can be assembled on site in just hours, it comes in sections that are small and light enough to be carried right through your side gate, makes it very appealing. You don't need to crane it over a full-size house over the top of your house and set it into place. They can bring it into the side yard. Plus, it's much less expensive than doing a traditional build. For example, a studio model costs about $43,000, and the 1-bedroom, 1-bath, the most popular model that I toured in the factory, starts at about $60,000. Now that's a lot cheaper than the equivalent size addition I was planning on adding to my house, which I was quoted $350,000. Now that, of course, doesn't include preparation on site and adding the electrical and the plumbing, but still I think the bottom line will be much more cost effective going this route. Now, if you don't have a backyard large enough to fit an ADU, maybe it's time to consider buying a new home. Rental income from a home like this on your property can be a great way to pay down your mortgage quicker, increase the value of your property, and perhaps maybe you need a place for your aging parent or an adult child to live. Where I live in the Bay Area, offsetting your mortgage with some rental income like this can really, really make buying a house more affordable. If you need help finding a home that would accommodate an ADU, I'm happy to help you find an agent in your area who knows what to look for. All my contact information is in the description below. Now, if you live in California like I do, be sure to check out this video right here about the new statewide ADU laws that make adding an ADU to your property much easier. Then watch this one next to find out if you qualify for the Cal HFA $40,000 ADU grant currently being offered. Now don't forget to help me out by hitting the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.